Anthony.
Are you okay?
What the hell is going on?
Funny enough, that scene isn't even in the movie. Hello everyone, this is Everything Horror. We love to talk about everything horror. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Candyman. You guys, I have been freaking waiting for this movie for such a long time. This was one of my most anticipated films of the year. Probably was my most anticipated film. It really was. Especially after revisiting Candyman, the original. It was my most anticipated film, and I have some bad news. I came out of the theater not really liking this movie. I didn't hate it. I just didn't really like it. And I feel like I can't really get across why I didn't really like it without getting into spoilers. It has been quite a bit of time since the movie had the embargo lifted and a bunch of reviews came out. So if you want to get non-spoiler reviews, definitely check out the many awesome channels here on YouTube that have reviewed this film not with no spoilers. I don't mind if you click off here. I want to talk about pretty much everything in this film because yeah, I want you guys to know why I did not like it. So let's go ahead and start off with the positives. From the opening scene, I thought I was in for a great ride. I love the way Nia DaCosta directed this film. It is beautiful. The opening shot is breathtaking. We're seeing the tops of skyscrapers in the sky, and it's gorgeous. It's like looking in a mirror. All right, that's what you're imagining this whole entire film, because it feels like almost every shot is filmed through a mirror, and it is absolutely beautiful. The music is booming, very eerie. It really reminded me of Us. There's a lot of vocal inflections in it, and I thought it was very eerie. I really liked it. Nia DaCosta, she loves to linger on shots, and I think it really complements the film. It looks absolutely gorgeous, okay? I cannot stress you enough. She's very talented. Very, very talented. I think Jordan Peele made a great decision at putting her at the helm. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, he is absolutely great in here as Anthony. We're following his character as it goes into the rabbit hole of Candyman. I really like the relationship between Anthony and Brianna, played by Tiana Paris. I thought their relationship seemed very real. When shit hits the fan, you really feel for her character as well. It really plays with that factor of somebody being out of the loop. She doesn't know what's going on, but she's seeing her boyfriend spiral. She's trying to help, but you know, there's nothing she can do, and she's helpless. So you really feel for her character as well. A really good scene that portrays that is when she finds him standing in the bathroom, rinsing his hand. He has that bee sting that is just like spreading. That's another thing that I really liked about the film, the body horror. But I think that scene really portrayed, you know, what her character is going through and what his character is going through as well. She's asking him, hey, do you remember what your nightmare was? And he's like, huh? What are you talking about? And then he just closes the door on her. And I thought the awkwardness with some of the scenes like that was done very well. It's very off-putting, and I thought they captured that eeriness, the tone, like in the first film. I think they captured that, and I was very happy with how this film was starting out. Even though it felt kind of slow, the direction that they went with Anthony being the baby in the first film, I thought was a really good direction to go to. And the correlation between him being a painter and Daniel Robitaille being a painter, I thought was a very nice touch as well. You know, it would make it so that Anthony always had a date with destiny with Candyman. It was always written in the stars. I really like the violence in this movie. I love the way it was filmed. The use of mirrors was a very nice touch. Although I felt like at times it was a bit overused. It just felt like every time there was a kill, it looks like there needed to be a mirror there, when that wasn't the case in the original. I mean, Helen's best friend gets murdered while Helen's having a breakdown. Like, there was no mirrors in sight in that scene. But a scene that I felt like the movie definitely could have done without was the high school scene. The scene in the bathroom, although it was pretty cool, it felt like it just put the movie on halt. I didn't really care for it. I didn't care for any characters that were being killed. That's the thing with this film. All the characters in this film that get killed, there's like no weight to their deaths. In the original, when Helen wakes up with a Rottweiler's head and a missing baby, you know, she gets taken to jail. When her best friend dies, she gets taken to a mental asylum. Every death had weight. And in this movie, it felt like none of the deaths had any weight. You just hear about it on the news and then it's gone. Let's get into the crux of why this film didn't work for me. The original Candyman had social commentary, but that wasn't the story. And the social commentary was a through line that connected everything with the story of Candyman. But in this film, it feels like the social commentary was the driver in this movie. That's all it really was, and they were using Candyman as the vehicle. The Candyman in this movie has no personality, has no charisma. You could replace it with anything, really. That's what makes the original Candyman so great, was Tony Todd's performance. The character, it was a character, and in this movie, it felt like it wasn't a character at all. It was almost non-existent, and that was the biggest downfall for me for this movie. It's pretty crazy because I had recently rewatched Candyman, and I'm like, wow, this movie is great. I love Tony Todd's performance. He's absolutely amazing. And to come into this film, knowing that he's in it, and only getting him for 4 or 5 seconds, he says something that's very profound, but it really has no lasting impact. And I think that's what really hurt the movie for me, because in the end, it doesn't feel like Candyman. I understand they were introducing this aspect of Candyman as a hive. There's many Candymen. But I feel like it just didn't work for me. It may work for others, but it didn't work for me. And I felt like it just tried to tackle way too much. There's the gentrification, the police brutality, and then just straight up racism. And it just took over the movie. You know, I love when movies have social commentary. They talk about social injustices. I mean, I love the original Candyman. I love Get Out. I love Us. This film felt like it just lost itself as it went on. I felt like it forgot that it was a horror movie. To me, it felt like the message overpowered the story. That may work for some people, but it just didn't work for me. I was missing Candyman. As the film went on, I was just missing the Candyman character. I was missing the lore that the original film had built up. The Candyman in this film just had no charisma. He was just like a mindless killing machine. And that's just not what Candyman was to me. Especially watching the first film recently. It was just pretty jarring to see. It would have been awesome to have things like Anthony talking to Candyman. We get that really awesome scene with him looking in the mirror and he sees Candyman staring back at him and mimicking all his movements. But it would have been awesome to have like a conversation. Him talking to Candyman. Just something to hold on to, you know? In the original, we had Helen and Daniel Robitel have almost like a romantic relationship. It would have been awesome to have Anthony and Daniel Robitel have almost like a father and son relationship. Just something to grasp onto in regards to that. That would have added more weight to it. Or at least something with the girlfriend, Brianna. We have this random flashback of her seeing her father jump out of a window. And nothing is answered in regards to that. It's just, it feels like the movie is a bit unfinished. Especially with the runtime, this movie was like a breeze. All of a sudden, things started happening so fast. It starts out pretty slow, and then it hits that midpoint, and then things just go like nothing. It felt so rushed, and it just leaves me wondering what other ideas they had, what they threw away. I don't know, I might be reading too much into it. That ending, I was waiting to see Tony Todd this entire film. I knew he was in the movie, but when and how long he was going to be in it. And when he finally showed up, it was only for those few seconds, and it was just a huge letdown for me. Now, I really do like the ending, because we finally get a good glimpse at the Candyman killing, and they're killing pretty awful people, but it's just like the way it plays out was just a little bit cringy, with Brianna talking with that officer, and just the conversation, it felt so forced and weird, but the way everything plays out, I thought was pretty well done, especially because we finally get a good look at Candyman killing. I really do like the shadow puppets, especially at the end credits. I thought it was beautifully done. The music, the reimagining of the original Candyman theme is just so haunting and creepy, and I just love the reimagining of that theme. Shadow puppets showing each of the Candymen, how they became Candymen, was very well done. I really like that. But yeah, overall, you guys, I know it seems like I hated the film. I didn't hate it. I did like it to an extent. It just really let me down. This is so far my biggest disappointment of the year. I really wanted to love this movie, especially getting ready to watch this film. I watched the first film and those sequels. I really wanted to love this movie, and unfortunately, it just fell short. I'm going to give Candyman 2021 3 nasty scab picks out of 5. Let me know what you guys thought of Candyman. I greatly appreciate it if you give this video a like, and make sure to subscribe. This is Everything Horror, where we love to talk about everything horror. Take care, peeps.